Alfie, could you stop? I'm trying to film. Shh. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Ashley, and I'm so excited that you're here. Today I actually wanted to do something and just do like a little book challenge. I asked some of my friends to just kind of send in some questions in regards to books because that's what this is about. And I'm really excited to answer those. I have my computer right here, so we are ready to go. Okay, first question on the book challenge. What book made me cry? Wow. That would be Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third installment to the Throne of Glass series. This book, I was just like not prepared for the emotional journey that it was going to be. And I would say Kingdom of Ash, like I said in my last video, is my favorite book in this series, but this probably comes in a close second just because it was so like monumental. Like it was a huge shift in her character, in Selena's character. This entire book was just like such a huge journey for her, and Sarah J. Maas did such a good job at making me just like be along for that ride. Like, oh, her relationship with Rowan, like it like happens in this book, and like they meet and they hate each other. I don't even know if that's a spoiler, sorry. I'm new to this. But just watching the relationship, which is not like, it's just not, it does not go how you think it's gonna go. But yeah, this had me sobbing. Even though this is a fantasy book, this character, Selena, what she walks through is super relatable to people who struggle with mental health, and I think that that's why that I related so much. This is a hefty book, so I probably cried about like 73% of it. So yes, book that made me cry. Next question. It says, a book series or world that you want to read but looks intimidating.
Need I say more?
So basically this whole Grishaverse starts off with your main Shadow and Bone trilogy. So you have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and then Ruin and Rising. And I don't know why I'm so intimidated by this, but I really am. And I think that it's Book Talk's fault because I know something, like I know spoilers and stuff, and that makes me really sad. And then you have your duology, and this is in the same universe. You have your duology, which is Six of Crows and then Crooked Kingdom. And I would say this is the series that has been most hyped up to me within the whole Grishaverse. And actually I did buy Six of Crows before I even knew there was a Shadow and Bone, which is hilarious. Like I saw this, I read the synopsis and I was like, that sounds awesome. It's about a heist, like what? And then I discovered that this isn't like the main, like this doesn't come first. Like there's a whole other trilogy that you need to read before you start these. And I was like, oh gosh, but I just want to read these. So I haven't read these. Actually I take that back. I did read, I think maybe the first 4 chapters of Six of Crows, and I was like, I'm really confused. So I was like, maybe it is best if I start with a Shadow and Bone. So there's that. And then you go into another duology, which is King of Scars, and I didn't want to take it down, but it's Rule of Wolves, and that is your last duology, and I don't know if there's gonna be more. I mean, it's Leigh Bardugo, so there could be. But yes, this follows 2 people that you meet in Shadow and Bone, and then another person that you meet in Six of Crows. So like you literally do have to read the trilogy and the duology and then this. Like it has to go in order is what has been explained to me, and I don't feel right reading them out of order. Like if I tried to do that, which I did, I would just be like, what's going on? So I'm not gonna do that. I really want to read this series, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very intimidated by it. So hopefully I can start Shadow and Bone next month. And usually when I start a series, I am able to like go really fast. So hopefully I can get that done all next month, like the whole Grishaverse. Like that is my goal, is to read the Grishaverse in its totality in the month of June. That would be phenomenal. All right, so my next question is, name a book that you didn't like. You know what? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna give you 2 books that I didn't like. First, let's talk about The Hating Game. I have absolutely no idea how this is supposed to be a major motion picture soon, because this book was so bad. I think I was really, and I finished it in like a day, but like I was so bored. I just wanted it to be over. I just wanted to read it and just mark it off my Goodreads list and just, but I couldn't even like, I think I sped read this. Sped read, but I read this book really fast. Because I just wanted to get over it. There's nothing in this book that was super alluring to me. I thought that the main character, Lucy, was like, just like, I just didn't like her. I couldn't relate to her. And then I couldn't relate to the guy, Joshua. I couldn't relate to him either. It was just not good. And you know, I know that this book, people love it, and that's fine. That's wonderful. I'm so glad that you have that. But you know, it just really didn't do it for me. All right, and then we have The Cruel Prince. For those of you that like this book, like, are you okay? Are you okay? I read the whole series in an entire day and a half. I remember I could only get through like half of The Queen of Nothing, and it was like 2 a.m. so I had to give it up. I said I'll finish it in the morning, and I did. I finished it because I, again, wanted to be done with it. I felt like this was incredibly problematic and toxic. I think that maybe the author went a bit too far trying to push the enemies to lovers trope, which is a trope that I love and I can get on board with. I'm here for it. But this just took it a little too far in a very particular scene where where Jude was drugged. It's that scene. I just really can't get past it. It was very hard for me to see the likable side of Carden after that. So I really just, I didn't buy it. Like, I didn't buy the romance. Like, it was very, like, did they like each other? Like, I don't even know. By the end of Queen of Nothing, I was like, I really still don't know. But I will say, I'm, like, not going to get rid of these books because I don't do that. I really don't get rid of books. But I will say, the number one thing I do like about this is that when you take the dust jacket off, it is so pretty. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Next question. All right. Have you ever thrown a book across the room in anger? Yes. I'm going to give you 2 books that's happened with because I'm feeling generous. So basically, in high school, I was introduced to John Green, okay? And he really didn't have any freaking right to do this to us. He did not have to do this. He didn't have to do it, but he did it, okay? And you guys know what I'm talking about. I threw this book across the room so hard. I vowed, I will never read another John Green book ever again. Ever again. I feel so betrayed. I was like yelling and crying all at the same time, and my mom was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
Next book was a recent throw, and that's Empire of Storms. And Yes, I do realize that I talk about the Throne of Glass series so much, but it is such a part of my heart. I just love it. This book left me in such shambles at the end. I didn't know what to do. Thank God I wasn't reading these books as they were coming out, because if I would have had to wait, this leaves you on the cliffhanger of cliffhangers, okay? And I tell you what, I really would have questioned my sanity if I had to wait for Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash. Thank the Lord I found these super late and all of them had been published, okay? That was such a big blessing for me because I was able to save what was left of my sanity. But there is a particular scene at the very end with Rowan. I was so mad at Sarah J. Maas. So mad at her. I said, why? They just found each other and now you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this to Rowan? And she did it. She did it, and I threw this book so hard I thought it left a dent in the wall, okay? It was a very dramatic moment, but you know, it felt justified in my soul. All right, my next question is, who are your favorite book characters of all time? I don't even want to answer this question. I'm gonna try. But this is really hard. This is the hardest question of all time. All right, I think I have it. Now, honestly, this could change, but these are the characters that have been so interwoven in the foundation of like why I love books. Now, honestly, these characters could be tied for the characters in Throne of Glass. And you know, honestly, are we coming to the point where like my channel is gonna be solely dedicated to Throne of Glass? It wouldn't be the worst idea I've ever had, because I don't think I could actually like go without these books. I know that sounds weird, but I really don't think that I could. And that is the Harry Potter series. And in regards to my favorite characters, obviously we have the trio. We love the trio. The trio saves the world. It is Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I mean, obviously I'm gonna relate more to Hermione. I love her. Like, she's so smart. She is like super elegant and like poised, but you know, I think Hermione's growth in the Harry Potter series is like amazing and super evident. And she comes in, I mean, she's super young, but she's very like, you have to follow the rules. Like, there's no other way but the way of the rules. And you know, she gets a little bit, you see her grow and you see her just kind of expand on that. And by the end of the book, she's not even the same person anymore, I don't think. Like, she's completely different, and like she's just more of who she was. Like, she's just the best version of herself, I feel like. I mean, obviously you never reach a point where you stop growing, but you know, she's not real. She's not a real person, so like, meh. But I also love Ron. Ron is, you know, the comedic relief of the series, I feel like. So I love that. We love a good funny character. But Ron just is so like, I've never wanted to like reach into a book and like give someone just like a hug. Like, but I always want to do that for Ron. But the reason that I did not pull the Sorcerer's Stone is because in this particular book, this is The Prisoner of Azkaban, my favorite character of all time makes his debut appearance. And you've guessed it, it is Sirius Black. The character arc of Sirius Black is something of genius. Sirius Black literally loves Harry so much and will do anything for him, literally does anything for him. Gutted me. Oh my gosh. But he honestly is just such like the unspoken savior of this series. I feel like he is so sweet, and he doesn't look it. Like, he looks very rough around the edges. He looks like a bad guy. Like, he's from a bad family that were like Death Eaters and like on the side of he who shall not be named. But like, so you think like when he comes on the scene, like you think he's bad, but like he's genuinely the most like wonderful character, and he's just so gentle and loving, and he breaks my heart. All right, the next question and the final question is actually, what book are you most excited to read? First book I am most excited to read is The Unhoneymooners. This is by Christina Lauren, and the reason I'm so excited about this book is because the synopsis just sounds so funny to me. It's basically following this girl Olive, who is a twin, and for her twin everything just comes super easily and naturally and just very, very lucky. And for Olive, it is not so much the case. And for her sister's wedding, she meets like her arch nemesis, which so happens to be the best man, whose name is Ethan, and everyone in the wedding party gets like food poisoning, so obviously Olive and Ethan have to go on the honeymoon because no one else can, so why waste your money? Olive and Ethan go on this honeymoon that's not for them. They hate each other, and it's basically gonna be super funny. All right, the next one that I'm very excited about reading is actually Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm so excited about this because I read Kingdom of the Wicked, and I thought it was very, very good. I think her writing style is probably like the most descriptive writing I've ever read. Like, I feel like I am there. Like, in Kingdom of the Wicked, she was describing like Italian food, and I was like, I literally smell it. Like, my mouth is watering. So I expect it to be the exact same in here. The synopsis sounds really interesting. It gives me a lot of like Sherlock Holmes vibes, and I grew up reading a lot of Sherlock Holmes, and so I just kind of felt like this would really entertain me. And I love a good like thriller mystery, but I do think there is a little bit of romance in here too. So I'm really excited about that because I get like a 3-in-1. I mean, that's a solid deal. And that's all I have for you. This was so much fun. And hey, before you leave, get out there and read. Alfie, stop.